Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Ira. Today's vlog is going to be a New Year's reset. I will be taking down my Christmas tree that's in the background and taking y'all behind the scenes of my very first YouTube video.
Okay y'all, so I love having my tree up, but I need the space back since usually we move the media center closer to my desk, and when Christmas is over, we move the media center back the other way in the corner where the Christmas tree is currently standing. So today I'm taking my tree down, and I'm very sad about that because if I could have it my way, I would keep my tree up until February. So by the time I upload this, it is going to be January 6th, which coincidentally is National Take Your Tree Down Day. So let me know in the comments what day you guys normally take down your trees. I'm curious to know. This year, I also let my sons decorate the tree, and I did not go back behind them and fix it, which I'm really proud of myself for because that's what I usually do. Now, today's video actually is my first vlog style video. I only have done the talking head style videos, and I published my very first one last week. As someone with zero experience on YouTube, starting this channel was so scary, especially since YouTube is like the most official platform that there is. Like when you tell someone you started a YouTube channel, they're like, oh, you know, it's not like starting an Instagram or a TikTok, it's like YouTube. So I'm gonna tell y'all, it was really scary. But once I took that first step, like once I posted that first video, I was like, whoa, I finally did it. So then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna actually do what I really want to do. That's vlogging. And I never saw myself as a vlogger because I don't have the right equipment, I don't have the right setup, I live in a small apartment. I really could not see myself doing it, but here I am. And while I am doing this to like prove it to myself that it's possible even without all of the perfect equipment, I'm really doing it to prove it to y'all. Like, you do not need something perfect to start. All you have to do is start, and you will figure it out along the way. Yes, it is really scary to start something, especially when you feel like everyone else is doing it better than you. But once you start it and you have your own journey and your own experiences, it will definitely feel like you know what you're doing, or at least you're learning what you're doing. Now, here are some of the obstacles that I faced during this vlog. The first one was lighting challenges. Setting up the perfect shot takes a lot of effort, especially when natural lighting is a luxury that I don't have in my apartment. I rely on my softbox and my ring light, but moving them around while cleaning is literally no small task. You might notice some grainy moments in this video, and that's partly my phone's fault, and I'll explain more about that later, but it was also partly due to the lighting struggles. I'm still figuring out the best process to manage this, but it's a work in progress and I'm learning as I go. The second thing was timing takes a lot longer than I initially expected. Originally, I thought filming a full apartment reset would be quick and easy because my apartment is small, right? How hard could it be, right? Spoiler, it's not that simple. Filming takes so much more time because you're not just doing the task, you're trying to capture it in a way that's clear and engaging for the audience. Every step has to be thought through, which brings me to my next point, visibility. So during filming, I had a lot of visibility struggles. As a first-time YouTuber, I'm learning a whole lot on the job, which, fun fact, was not my original plan. I intended to be fully prepared, but here we are figuring it out as we go. Visibility is all about angles, and I quickly realized how tricky it is to set up the perfect shot when using my phone's front camera. Since I can't see the frame while recording, I end up filming, stopping, checking, and adjusting. A tedious but necessary step to avoid disappointment during editing. Before I do anything else, I need to take my vitamins. So the first vitamin I'm taking is iron. Next, I'm taking fish oil. I take these for the omega-3s. Took an extra one there, so I had to put it back. Now I'm taking magnesium, and then now I'm taking B12. And finally, I'll be taking this multivitamin. Okay, so let's get back into it. So now that my boyfriend is back home, he's going to help me move the TV back where it needs to be, and I'll continue where I left off. So as I was saying, I was having issues with visibility, and one reason why I had these issues is because in a small space like mine, I realized that using the 0.5 lens for a wider shot was really helpful. However, I thought this would capture everything. Unfortunately, I did not check the edges of the frame, so some moments like putting ornaments away were cut off entirely, and I really learned my lesson. During the edit, I was very disappointed. Next time, I'll dedicate a day just to planning tripod placements, angles, and lighting before I even hit record. Now, the fourth thing that I ran into was planning breaks. This is where my ADHD really comes into play. When hyperfocus kicks in, I lose track of time, I lose track of space, I lose track of everything. And at one point, I started feeling dizzy and I realized that I hadn't eaten, drank water, or taken my vitamins. I was running on fumes and starting to get agitated. Going forward, I really have to make sure to have water nearby and take care of my basic needs before diving into filming. Breaks are very essential, not just for staying energized, but for keeping my mood and focus intact.
Hey y'all, like I said, I wanted to take you guys behind the scenes of my first YouTube video. First of all, I decided to make the video, wrote the script, recorded the video all in the space of a week. Editing took some time as well. The decision to record the video was spontaneous. I woke up one day, decided that I was tired of doing everything for everyone else and I wanted to do something for me. It was really hard to push myself to even write the script because doubt was in the back of my mind telling me, what's the point of writing the script? You might not record this video. But I ignored all those voices and I decided to write the script. The script took me a whole evening to write after I got off from work. I went to bed that night at like 2:30 in the morning, and the next day I looked over it again and I was like, this is actually pretty good. It conveys all my thoughts, everything's here. At that point, I felt myself on the hook. I was like, you wrote the script, now you actually have to record this video. I was a little bit overwhelmed with the whole process. I wasn't sure like what the background should look like. I wasn't sure about anything, but I have been watching this YouTuber. Her name is Jade Beeson, and she does a lot of tips on how you can start your YouTube channel. I sat down one evening and I watched her video and I brought my notebook out and I started taking notes. And her content is really great because it's very educational. It's almost like she's teaching you exactly what to do. In that specific video, she spoke about what to do in week 1 up to 4 weeks. And I found myself seeing myself actually able to do what she said. And I was like, whoa, this is scary. I can see this happening. I started to write down what location I was gonna film in. And ultimately I decided on this space right here where my desk is. And then I watched another video and I can't remember the name of the guy right now, but I will link that video down below. But he was explaining how you set up the camera, the best way to put your camera settings on your phone, and then what editing software to use. And this one was really important because I was previously using Wondershare Filmora and the one he suggested was CapCut. I had already been using CapCut to edit reels and I had it on my phone, so the idea that I could just download it on my computer and that the platform would be familiar was very appealing to me. Wondershare Filmora is very clunky. I feel like if you've already started editing videos, you might not find it as clunky, but me specifically, it was very clunky for me. I then decided to see what it was all about. It was actually something I could see myself editing on. Then he talked about colors and how whenever you put colors in your background, make sure that everything in the background, maybe even what you're wearing, is complementary. And so I thought about that as well. And then little by little, the whole video started to come together. The day of making the video, I wanted to back out. I was like, I'm here. It's the day of. I had decided on one hairstyle, changed it, decided on one outfit, changed it twice. When I was finally satisfied with the outfit itself, I was like, okay, here I am. So I started recording and I didn't want my boyfriend to be here at the time. So he went out to the gym and I was by myself and I was like, okay, let me record. So I recorded a few things and then I realized this is hard. Recording by myself is really hard, especially for the first video, because I would say things feeling like I said it right and then watch it back and it was so dry. So when he came back, he helped me with the remainder of it. And mind y'all, it was 1 hour and 37 minutes of just repeating things, saying things over and over. And one thing I wish I had taken into account was my makeup. So when I did my makeup, I did not account for the fact that the lights would be so bright and it would make me go hot. I totally did not account for that. And so after about 15 minutes of filming, my makeup had started to get oily, my nose was really shiny, and that really bothered me. I was overthinking it. I was able to fix it in the edit, but now I know so that I can prepare for it before, filming. But I should have used a little bit more setting powder. There was just like so much stuff that I didn't really account for. And afterwards, I'm watching myself on the recording and I'm like, this is a lot of things to cut. Okay, so we have to get the video from my phone into CapCut. I'm like, this should be easy. iCloud is there. iCloud is a wonderful resource. One thing y'all need to know is that I have an iPhone 11 Pro Max. Yeah, it is very old. And the iCloud doesn't sync as seamlessly as a new one probably would. So when I thought I would just go to the iCloud and see it, it wasn't there. I kept trying to upload it. It wouldn't upload. So my boyfriend said, okay, go ahead and use the cable connected to the computer, and that way you can just get it directly from your phone into the computer. I went into the files and I saw the recording there, but it wasn't in the right format and it wouldn't download, and CapCut would not recognize it. So for that whole evening, I was a little bit annoyed. I was like, okay, I'm failing already. This video will not happen. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I slept pretty restlessly that night and woke up the next morning hoping to find a solution. When I looked things up online, it was saying that the file format was probably not right, to use this software, download it and try it. Downloaded the software, it did not work. Then I tried to wait for it to sync to the cloud, it still didn't work. Finally, I saved it to my files and uploaded it that way, but when I went looking for it in the files, it went to my boyfriend's downloads. I'm not sure why. And that's one thing you should pay attention to. Whenever you're uploading something or downloading something, just make sure you know which folder it's going to, so that when you go looking for it, you know exactly where it is, because all of that was just like an extra hassle and I wasn't thinking that way. So it was a journey to come to that conclusion. But finally, I got it into CapCut and I began to edit it. I wish I could tell you that I had a really organized way of editing, but I didn't. As I mentioned, I'm a mom and I'm a full-time employee and I have some responsibilities. So every evening when I came home, I would just do it in my spare time. As I'm watching TV, I would just edit what I could edit. And eventually I got to the end of the editing process and I was able to finally upload the video to YouTube. So that's just a little bit about the process for me, what it took. Mentally, I had a lot of imposter syndrome. In between editing, I took a quick break to see what other creators who were like me, which means female and African American, I was looking for that kind of content because I watch a lot of, like anime reviews, just random stuff on YouTube. I don't really watch vlogging on YouTube. So when I went to see those kinds of creators, one thing that made me feel very insecure was the type of clothing they were wearing and the type of bodies that they had. And when I saw all of this, I almost didn't want to go forward with it because I was like, they all look really sexy and I just look normal. I'm literally wearing just a sweater and my hair isn't done like down to the T. Like I just put a headband on and I did the best I could with what I had. That thought process really was a hindrance, but at the end of the day, when the video was finished, I was really happy with how it came out. And your first video is not going to be perfect. There's going to be a lot of obstacles. There's going to be a lot of things that will get in your way. But the main point is that you actually tried. You took the first step, you pressed record, you got yourself together and you recorded that video. And when you see it and you look back on it, you'll be like, wow, I really did that. Despite thinking that I couldn't, despite thinking that I didn't have what it takes, I have what it takes. And so thank you guys for just, coming along with me today as I put my Christmas tree away and kind of went through my routine. I hope that all of you, whatever your goals are, whatever it is that you're hoping to accomplish in 2025, that you're able to do it. Take it one step at a time. Just make the goals very realistic. If you want to be a content creator, instead of thinking about the entire channel, think about your first video. Just make it as small as the first video. Don't make it like, oh, I want to record an hour-long vlog. I want to be outside. No, just think about what you can do where you're currently at, the place that you feel the most comfortable. For me, that was definitely a game changer. Instead of thinking about doing it the way I'm seeing other content creators doing it, I did it in my own way. And ultimately, I was happy with it because I did it my own way.
I just want to thank you guys for watching. Starting this YouTube channel has been a really rewarding experience, and I'm excited for where 2025 will take us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you will know when the next video comes out.